Soldiers, we're about to tell you everything you need to know when playing the squad leader role in hell like this, so get comfortable and hit that subscribe button as we're about to begin. As a squad lead, it's your job to make sure the entire team has map control and a strong flow of accurate information, so make sure you focus on your team instead of your kill death ratio, getting as many kills as you possibly can. The first thing I strongly suggest to do is to get to know your squad, as it will help you to start communicating as well as work together. Hey guys, how you doing?
What up?
Hey.
What's up?
Using your mic is essential to play hell like this, so if you have one, use it and utilize it to the best of your ability. We've all been in games where there's 0 garrisons and we have to run around the map only to die and redeploy over at the HQ. The garrison saves your team from this huge problem, so make sure garrisons are top priority when playing. I would really suggest to have 3 defensive garrisons on the control point you just captured, and 3 offensive garrisons on the control point you're attacking next. Overall, the more garrisons you have, the better the gaming experience will be. Building a garrison in a friendly sector will only cost you 50 supplies, and your support player carries this amount. Ask them to drop their supplies wherever you want them, and once that's done, equip your watch and use the aim and shoot button to build your garrison. Building in enemy territory is different, as this time it will cost double the supplies, and you'll encounter many enemies, but there's many ways you can achieve building garrisons in this area. You can first get your support player to drop their 50 supplies, but they will have a 5-minute cooldown to wait. I would get another squad mate to redeploy as a support, so they can drop their 50 supplies, to make the 100 needed to build that garrison. You can ask a commander for a supply drop, but be aware that the enemies will be able to see these visible in the sky via a red or white parachute. Last of all, you can use a supply truck, which holds 300 supplies. These are a little time consuming to drive and can get targeted by anti-tanks, so just be cautious when driving around the battlefield trying to build a garrison. Some squad leads believe placing a garrison inside the control point is a great idea, as it can allow friendlies to spawn in to help capture the control point, but the enemy will use artillery and bombing runs to help destroy them, so you should be placing them in a 2x2 grid that holds the control point, as these garrisons will be less likely to be taken out, and you will still capture the control point once you've spawned in. When enemies are close to a garrison, it will become red, and if this happens then you know enemies are pushing in that direction. It's your job to go and defend that garrison, taking out any nearby enemies. If it gets destroyed, then you must rebuild it ASAP, and you can't build garrisons which are 200 meters off each other, so remember this before you request your supplies. At the start of a round, I suggest getting an engineer to build nodes which come in 3 main types of manpower, munitions and fuel, and these help the commander to call in his abilities like airheads, bombing runs and other cool stuff to help support the team. A single engineer can build 1 set of nodes, and the team can have 3 sets in a game. These should be placed in the first blue sector, because if you lose a sector, then all the nodes you built will be destroyed. A full set of nodes costs a total of 150 supplies, and you could build these in 3 ways. The support class could drop their 50 supplies, but then they'll have a 5-minute cooldown. This can be reduced to 2.5 if you're in the proximity of a manpower node. The supply truck actually can't drop supplies in the first sector, but it's a little trick. Get your supply truck and drive it to where the first and second sector meet, and begin to drop your supplies in the second sector. You only need to be within 50 meters of the supplies, so run back into the first sector to start building your nodes from there. Finally, you can ask the commander for a supply drop, which holds a total of 100 supplies. You will need another 50 supplies from your support to complete your first full set of nodes. Outposts are like garrisons, but are only for your squad to use. They take a total of 20 seconds to spawn in, and you must be updating these at all times. Outposts are spawned in the exact same way as garrisons by using your watch, and these can be placed in neutral territory, friendly territory, and the first 2 grids of the enemy's territory. Maps show information such as where your squads are, and markers for possible enemy locations or hostile armor. If you're not checking your map regularly, then you're going to miss out on certain threats, such as an enemy garrison you could have taken out, or an enemy airhead which has gone behind your control point. So soldiers, check your maps frequently at all times. Squad leaders have access to a marker wheel, which is used to highlight where you want your squad to go, and also showcase enemy threats. These come in 3 types. Order markers for your squad such as move, attack and defend. Enemy markers such as enemy infantry, tanks or spawn points. And finally request markers for your commander to call in abilities like bombing runs or supply drops. To place a marker on your map, open your map by using a touchpad and hit an X on your controller to showcase your marker list. You can also use binoculars to mark stuff by pressing left on the D-pad. Finally, don't mark anything which has already been marked, as it will cause map clutter. Squad leaders have their own voice chat, which is highlighted in orange, where they can talk to other squad leaders and also the commander. Sometimes this channel can get a little loud, so don't contribute to the noise and only share what's important to the team by keeping it short and simple. We're about to mark enemies.
Just because the three of us are on top of it and it's overrun.
No, 54.
With a marker
Yes,
on
but-
D6.
D6, yeah?
Yeah.
D6, yes.
Everyone loves to go on the offensive, which leaves the previous control point unattended by friendlies, which will cause enemies to go to backcap that objective, especially in warfare. But guess what, soldiers? I want you to hang around the previous control point and defend it with your lives. You don't have to sit directly in the black circle to defend. You can also go around the 2x2 grid surrounding the control point, as most of the time the enemy tends to put outposts or garrisons around that general area, so you're doing your team a huge favour by staying back and defending. I believe if you use these tips I've given you today, you'll become a better squad leader than most high levels within the game. I assure you of that. Thanks for watching. I really hope this video helped. If it did, drop a like so others can see the video, and remember to subscribe for future guides as there's more to come. As always, I appreciate your support, and I will see you all in the next guide. This is Behemoth, signing off.